Hi everyone, it's Nahal from Nahal Reads, and today I wanted to talk about some quick, satisfying reads that you can read in between or if you have a reading slump. I don't know about you guys, but there are some books that I just fly through when I read them, even if they're maybe a little bit on the longer side or they could be short ones. It doesn't matter if it's contemporary, historical fiction, although usually it's contemporary. But there's some books that I just start reading and I can't put down, and it feels super satisfying to read books in like a day or two because then I get to up my Goodreads count. So I wanted to share those books with you guys. If you guys are struggling to find books that you want to just blow through, here are a few. So the first book on this list is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. She's the author of Me Before You, which is why she might sound very familiar to you guys, but I actually enjoyed 1+1 a little bit more than Me Before You. Basically, it's a story of this single mother. She has two children, and she had them when she was very young. She doesn't have any support from the ex-husband financially, so she's pretty much just trying to make it and provide for her kids. And one of the jobs that she has is cleaning a really nice summer vacation house for this wealthy guy who lives in London. And she ends up meeting him because he has problems with his company that he has built. He's under some kind of financial investigation, and he's not allowed to be anywhere near his company. So he ends up having to live in his summer house, even though it's not summer. And they end up meeting, and she ends up recruiting his help because her daughter has been accepted to a very prestigious private school that she can't afford, and her teacher has told her that the daughter should enroll in a math competition because if she wins, she'll get a bunch of money. So you just follow the story of them trying to make it to this math competition, of her and the guy getting to know each other, the dynamic with the family. He's a really hard ass at first, and then he becomes... it's great. It's a great story. I would read it. It took me like a day and a half to finish it. The next book on this list is one that has been popular for a pretty solid amount of time now, and that is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This is a perfect summer read. It took me, I think, a day and a half to finish, and basically you follow the story of this girl who is best friends with this girl named Sloane. The main character is pretty reserved. She doesn't like getting out of her shell that much, but when she meets Sloane, Sloane is someone who's really outgoing, awesome person to hang out with. They become best friends and kind of pushes her out of her shell. And then one day, Sloane just vanishes. She doesn't show up to hang out with her. When she goes to her home, she's not there. And then she finds this list of things that Sloane has written for her to do over the summer. And they're all things that really push the boundaries of what she's comfortable with. It really pushes her out of her comfort zone. So we don't really know for a long time why Sloane is gone, and she pretty much has to fend for herself in the summer and try and do all of these things. So it's a really cute story. There's a boy, she meets a boy, of course she does, but I thought their relationship was really endearing, and it wasn't insta-lovey, which I don't like at all, so I appreciated that. And yeah, just a fun read. Next up is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Attachments was a very fast read. I think I read this in a single night because it was so cute. Basically, it follows, your main protagonist is Lincoln. He just got a job at this newspaper company as the email internet watchdog. It's set in the 2000s, like the turn of the millennium. And that was when companies freaked out about giving access to email to their employees because they thought these employees wouldn't be doing work. Crazy how everything has changed. Anyways, his job was basically to go through the filters that they put up for the emails that flag for inappropriate words and issue warnings. And one day, this conversation between two of the employees, Jennifer and Beth, shows up in this program. And instead of giving them a warning, as he should have, he ends up reading their emails, which he's not really supposed to do. But through reading their emails, and they talk about daily life, everything that friends would talk about. So he learns a lot about Jennifer and Beth, things that he probably shouldn't have access to and learn about. It's a little stalkerish, but through reading their emails, he ends up developing feelings for Jennifer. But the catch is they've never met. So he works in a completely different area of the office and as Jennifer and Beth. And so he doesn't know who Jennifer is, what she looks like. He just ends up falling for her personality. And later when they do finally meet, it is very beautiful. I really enjoyed it. It's a quick read and I recommend it. The next book is one that is being talked about a lot right now because the movie is coming out very soon, and that is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I'm sure most of you guys know what this is about. It's about a girl who is allergic to everything, and she pretty much hasn't been able to leave her house since she discovered that she was allergic to all of these things. Her mother is a doctor and is her primary caretaker. Literally the house has a ventilation system so that outside air can't get in and poison her and all this stuff. It's a crazy life. She has a nurse that is her only friend, really, until a new family moves in next door. And this new family has a young boy her age that is in it, and his room happens to be right across from her window on the second floor. So because of him, she develops feelings for this boy, and because of him, she starts questioning what she really wants out of life, experiencing new things in life, what she wants to do, if it is really worth it to be living the life that she is living, which may not even be living at all. So a lot of things unfold. There's a crazy plot twist. It's great. And I've heard Nicola Yoon's other book, The Sun Is Also a Star, is even better. So I can't wait to read that. But in the meantime, I would suggest reading this before the movie comes out. The final book on my list is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Nevin. I finished this last week. It's so good. It is heartbreakingly sad. I had straight up tears running down my face at the end of this book, but it just talks about such important issues, mainly mental health. The main character, Finch, is bipolar, and it's something that's not even brought up. The word bipolar isn't even brought up like well into the book because they live in small town Indiana where mental health is not really something that's discussed, and he can't find ways to cope with it because people are so reluctant to even acknowledge its existence. And the other main character, Violet, was in a car accident the year before with her sister. Her sister died on impact. She survived. So they meet each other. They form this unlikely friendship, and they end up blossoming into this beautiful relationship that helps the both of them in a way. I have a full review for this. I will link it down below. I have a lot of thoughts, so happy to share those with you guys. And yeah, it was sad. I will not sugarcoat that, but it is so worth reading, and it took me like, I think 2 nights to read. It was so good. So yeah, those are all my books that I have to recommend to you guys. If you want a quick, fast, enjoyable read, I would love to know what other reads you guys have that have fallen into that category, because I'm always looking for breaks between my long fantasy series. And yeah, love to know what you guys think. Bye!